In this video, traders, we're going to look at how to day trade for a living. Real advice. Stick around. Hey guys, warm welcome to you. All right, so one for you brand new traders out there, you've stumbled across this, you're like, hey, I want to get into trading. So my name's Mark. I've been trading for just over 20 years now. The markets have been very kind to me. I love the markets. I love trading. I also see they've got a channel here, got loads of content for you guys. And so, for me, I love the markets. I love trading. When I'm waiting for trades, when I'm in a trade and it's running, I'll do videos. Hopefully that gives you an idea that I have something to share. I definitely don't pretend to have all the answers, and I'm not going to lie to you about the expectations. I'm going to be honest with you and transparent about what to expect by becoming a trader if you're getting involved in this. But hopefully, you'll see and go, okay, after this makes sense. Do I still want to do it? Yes, I do. So let's get right onto it, guys. The first one is define living. So living does not equal profits in the early years. Believe me, in the early years, it's very, very tricky. I know there's a lot of content out there saying, listen, you can come and you can follow these signals, you can do this, you can do that, you order your Lamborghini, you do this, you do that. It's just not going to happen. There's an odd story of someone who's come and just put all their money in and something's just gone up straight, but that's more of a luck thing. When we talk about trading, we're talking about consistency, day after day, week after week, playing different markets, different conditions, extracting some profits, having a good day, having a bad day, stopping that getting too damaging, and playing that game so that you've got something continuously. You've got skill set for life. That's the goal, a skill set for life that you can use in any endeavor. In an auction-based process market, supply, demand, you've got something there. If you can read that, if you can become proficient at that, then you've got something to build on. You've got something that's going to be there for you forever, even when you're 80 odd and you're like, yes, I'm going to buy this crazy new market that's coming out and I understand the conditions and volatility, etc. So just remember that living, it's not equal profit in the early years. You've got to consider it like a startup, right? If you're in a startup, you can say, hey, I work as the CEO of this startup, and let's say you've got $4 million worth of funding. The company might be loss-making. Right, the company might be loss-making, but that's still your profession and you are still pushing it towards. It's not like you expect to suddenly go in and go, can we make a profit today, can we make a profit today? No, you've got a longer term vision. You're like, okay, we've got to get this in place, this in place, this in place, this in place, and there's still no guarantee of success. But that's why you do it. You go in there because you know that if you put the work in, you put the effort in, you put your focus in the right areas, there's a good chance. There's a chance, and that's why you're doing it. So consider that, have the startup mentality when you're coming into trading. I'm in this, I'm going to learn this, and the profits will come when they're ready, or when I'm ready. Number two, use the smallest amount of capital you can. I always advise this is the sequence I advise. Open a demo, choose a broker, open a demo. There's one below, you can try that out, or go to one that's regulated, whatever you want. With different parts of the world, different regulations, etc. I've done a video on that before anyway. But the idea is you need to get used to what trading's all about. Maybe watch some videos about some of the basics as a kind of beginner stuff, just get a feel for it. But nothing beats having an account in a demo and just playing around, just buying stuff, selling stuff, doing this, see what different order types do. Learn by doing. Most of us learn by doing. Look at the charts, this and that. Get your questions together, go and find answers. Get yourself to a level where you understand how the markets work. And then open a live account with very, very small amount of money. Understand where the risk's coming from, understand what margin is, what leverage is, all this kind of stuff, but a very small amount of money. I'm a big advocate of getting some skin in the game. Now, obviously, you've got to do your own research on this and understand the risks involved and all that other stuff, because it's a risky game and you can lose all your money and there's a chance of losing more in some conditions. So understand all that. But once you understand it, from an operational perspective, I would get myself to live as quick as possible. If I was going through the journey, I'd be like, right, understand the demo, understand the platform, get myself to live with a very small amount of money. Do not put a large amount of money in, do not put all your savings in, because there is a high probability that you do damage to that and you lose a lot of money. So you'd rather lose a few $1,000 than you would lose in $50,000. You're going to learn anyway, but the price you pay can be your choice. So a very small amount of money. Don't get sucked in to thinking, well, if I put all this in, I'm going to suddenly double it and triple it. Just take it safe, play it steady. It's a long game. Number three, pick one market or one strategy and become an expert. All right, so you want to become a day trader. So you've got a choice. You're going to trade stocks, are you going to trade currencies, you're going to trade the indices, you can trade commodities as well, but let's stick with those. Those are the main ones that guys day trade generally. So if you're going to trade Forex, you say, okay, I'm going to day trade Forex, I'm going to pick a currency pair that I like. I'm going to pick a currency pair, it doesn't matter at this point in time, this is not going to stick with you forever, you will make multiple iterations to this, but just pick one, stick with one. Say, okay, I'm going to trade cable, which is pound, US dollar. And you say, right, what's my strategy for trading that? And at the moment you're like, well, I haven't got a strategy. The best thing you can do is to pick a market and then just go and find a strategy and just start. And it could be any strategy. It doesn't matter if it's profitable or not at this moment in time. Your job is just to understand how the market works and the market rhythm. You could pick DAX, which is the German index. You could pick Dow, you could pick NASDAQ. You say, hey, I'm going to trade the opening range type strategy on those. Or I'm going to trade this, I'm going to trade that, I'm going to trade trending trade on it. The point is this, at the moment you're like, well, I don't understand any of this. That's fine, but pick a strategy, pick a market and stick with it, because the objective isn't to make money initially, just like the startup. It's not to make money initially, it's to improve your skill level. Your skill level is at the lower level now, and your objective is to bring it up as quickly as you possibly can. And that doesn't involve, as ironic as it is, making money. That involves bringing the skill level up. When things are ready and lining up, that's when the money starts to come into play. If you focus too much on making the money, that's when you end up throwing all the skills under a bus and you get emotional with the trades, you lose your discipline, you end up it just doesn't work. So focus on bringing the skill level up as opposed to the money, and pick one market, one strategy. Anything can be, and it can be anything, and become an expert. Find one on the internet and buy a course, anything. But even if you not think it's not that great, you're like, oh, I'm not sure about this, just try it. Just stick with something once for a period of time before you go, right, I quite like this part of it, I don't like this part of it, I like that, I don't like this market. You start to at least learn something, and it's just getting going. Number 4, filter out the noise. Honestly, guys, it's a killer, absolute killer, especially if you're brand new, because you've got someone saying, hey, trade this, someone else saying trade that, someone else saying trade this, do this strategy, that strategy. It's like, what should I trade? And what will happen is you'll make some trades, you'll be like, oh, I'm struggling a little bit. Oh, that guy seems to be making money, let me follow that. And you never get good at anything. Just filter out the noise. Once you decide what you're doing, by all means, get the answers to your questions, like, oh, what's support mean? What does resistance mean? What's a trend trade? What's a momentum ignition? What's mean reversion? What's the VWAP? Any of these questions, by all means, get the answers to those. But when it comes to watching videos or reading guides about specific strategies, pick one, like I say, and then that's it. Stick with that for a while. Don't get seduced by, oh, something's making this over there, that looks pretty good, or that looks pretty good. Stick with it, filter out the noise. 5, expect to lose for the first year. It's the way it is, unfortunately. Startup mentality, expect to lose for the first year at least. And if you still want to be in it, then enjoy the process. If you enjoy trading, enjoy the markets, there's no reason to, as long as you're not losing massive amounts of money, which goes back to putting a small amount of money into the market, it's fine. You can enjoy the journey. Like, hey, I've got this much money in the markets. It's not the end of the world if I risk it. I don't need it. It's this. That's what it should be, the amount. You should be very, very small. But I'm learning loads. I'm understanding supply. I'm understanding demand. I'm understanding breakouts. I'm understanding fake outs. I'm understanding pullbacks. I'm understanding when to get involved. I'm understanding how to use my limit orders to my advantage and all this kind of stuff. Stop hunting. All this stuff we talk about loads and kind of becomes second nature to an experienced trader. You start to understand it. So over that year, you start to develop a strategy and understanding of the market, your strengths, your weaknesses, and it costs you hardly anything. That's the beauty of trading. You can choose how much to spend on your education. And if you put in a couple of $1,000 and it costs you a couple of $1,000 and you've made massive leaps over the year, massive value. Whereas if you put in 100,000 and it's cost you that, that's money you're gonna have to recover at some point. So be very careful about how much you're risking. The final thing is, get ready for an emotional ride. It's emotional, there's a lot of discipline involved in it. It's a mindset game, it's a psychology game. Strategy is one thing, but there's so many plates to spin as a trader that sometimes for many people, starting to trade opens the door and go, wow, I've got to do a lot of work here on myself. I've got to improve my discipline. I've got to improve, my ability to take risk, my ability to control frustration and this and that and the other. And you might be like, what does that mean? I don't understand that. I'm just starting out trading. You'll get it. And that's why I advise, or if it was me, and I advise anybody, not making any recommendations, of course, I'm not authorized to make a recommendation like that, but if it was me going through the journey again, I would get some skin in the game, because it just changes the dynamic of how you're feeling. When we human beings have money on the line, we behave very, very differently to if it's a demo account. But be ready for the emotional ride. It's a roller coaster of emotions, it can be, but it's the best game in the world, guys. It's a 3D puzzle that constantly changes. It's never solvable. We can just get better, we can work on ourselves. And one thing is this, is if you go through the journey of trading, specifically you're a day trader, you know, and you put the work in and you improve yourself, you will come out a better person for it, regardless of the situation. So even after a year, if you're not quite to the point that you want to be in trading, and you know, a year might not be enough, you will have improved as a person, you will have improved lots of things in your life if you follow the right journey, which is only going to be a plus. So, how to day trade for a living, not quite this, oh yeah, do this, do that, and all of a sudden you'll have $1 million in your account. But this is the kind of real version, guys. I don't want to put you off. It's something you want to do. Try out, test it out. Small amount of money. Make sure to subscribe to the channel there's lots of videos, all sorts of videos from beginner level, intermediate, advanced. Loads of free stuff on YouTube. Thanks guys, take care, bye bye.